The first thing that I do when I get to a house to do dryer vent cleaning is cleaning the front of the lint tray because this could get really dirty, and a lot of other companies and do-it-yourselfers always forget this part. And even if you clean the screen that's there every single time that you do laundry, this is a big thing that people say to me, "Oh, I always clean that screen. It shouldn't be dirty in there." Well, I clean it every time. This is my dryer, and it is completely filled with flammable lint. This could be a fire hazard, or it could affect the drying of the machine, costing you more in your energy bill. Now, depending on what dryer you have, some of them have like a little area that will come off and you could remove it for easier access and vacuum in there, and you don't really need any special tools. But this is pretty rare. Out of doing 5 or 6 a day, 6 days a week, I've only came across like 5 or 10 different dryers that actually have this. This is one of them, Electrolux, that can let you remove it, but most of them do not remove. Like this dryer, there's nothing to remove, so don't be unscrewing stuff because nothing will come out. And you just need a long vacuum attachment that could reach down there. You could get them at Home Depot, or I'll leave a link down below where some vacuums come with them. But if you don't have a vacuum that could reach all the way down there, the next best thing is to use a brush. So the brush is going to have all the lint cling to it, and then you could just vacuum off the brush after. Or if you don't even have a vacuum, you could put it in the garbage, but you probably do have a vacuum. So you could just run your brush in and get all the lint out. That way you don't need technically a long piece to get in there. Next is going to be the back of the dryer. So some of them, just like with the fronts, some of them will be easier than others. This one was really cool. It had this grate on the back, and you could take the whole grate off and then clean in there. So if yours has one of these, take the screws off, and you'll have access to the inside of your dryer. And these insides, they say they're supposed to be sealed from the factory, but there will be a huge amount of dust in most of them if you have never cleaned this before. This type of dryer has kind of another type of grate, and you have larger access. This specific dryer wasn't that bad, but it's good to have that access. But most dryers that you're going to come across are just going to have a pipe out the back with a screw, and you could take out the screw and clean it. So first you're going to want to clean if there's any dust in there, and if you've never done it, there's going to be dust in there because that's where it starts. And then you're going to want to clean that out. But then there's a screw. So you're going to take off the screw. Some of them will be on the outside like this one, or some of them will be on the inside. So it's just going to be one Phillips screw. You don't even need a drill. You could use a screwdriver. And we're going to take this off. And then now inside there is going to be what I call the guts of the machine and the floor pan. So on that floor, there's going to be a lot of dust and dirt. Again, this one wasn't that bad, but if you haven't cleaned yours in years and years, it's going to be pretty bad. This was one that was actually really bad, so I removed the pipe. And then look at all of that. It's hard to tell, but that is like an inch thick. It's not a carpet. It's actually lint that has built up. So now you're going to have to clean this whole thing from this little opening, the little round opening. Really easy. You could use any type of vacuum that has a hose attachment to it. And then you're probably going to want a brush attachment because it gets kind of like greasy and stuck to the bottom. And then just shine your flashlight in there, or put your flashlight in there. Make sure the dryer is off because you're going to be right by the wires. And then just simply vacuum it up. You could use a brush. You could even use a paper towel if you don't have any other equipment, and just clean it out. Get all of that dust out from around there. Now, if you have a dryer where the lint tray is on top, it's going to be a little bit different, but you'll have a lot more access. This whole back panel comes off, and then this part, this is where the lint screen is going to be when you put the lint screen on the top of the dryer, and that's going to remove very easily. So you see that part right there, there's two screws that comes out, and you could open it, and then you could clean all in there. And if you haven't done this, it's going to be super dirty because that's where all the suction is, and the fan is down at the bottom, so a lot of lint's going to get pulled in there. So once you have it removed, you'll be able to see the inside. This was one that I was just wanted to use to make the video. It wasn't that dirty at all. So watch when I remove this and look inside it. I have seen these completely clogged up. So it's very important to take these apart and clean them at least once a year, because inside here, and if those holes get filled with lint and blocked, it's going to affect the working of the dryer. And then there's also going to be a lot of lint, dust, pet hair if you have pets in there. And then to get to the floor pan, it's usually going to be on the bottom right. So in there, you just have to take a vacuum and vacuum up there. This was one that I saw that was really, really dirty. It was starting to burn. And then the same thing as the other type of dryer, you just want to get this metal at the bottom looking nice and clean, whether with a vacuum, a brush, paper towel, or whatever you have. And that's how you clean the inside of your dryer.